Industry trends, insights, outlook in capital raises, mergers, and acquisitions.
Let's go.
Welcome to Venture Deal Talk. Nothing in this episode or related materials is investment or financial advice.
Welcome to Venture Deal Talk. Let's get ready to rumble. Without further ado, today I am grateful for the opportunity to interview Matt Voska with Origami. Matt, let's dive in.
Thanks for having me, Galen. Looking forward to it.
My pleasure. And this is the very first episode, so this is VIP with Matt. And so my first question, Matt, is could you share your thesis, origin story, and journey with your current venture, Origami?
Sure. So Origami is a company that helps communities to build DAOs. So DAO being a decentralized autonomous organization. It's effectively a way for online or digital communities to govern themselves without having a traditional top-down governance structure. So we help digital communities to create that. And the background behind it, we really have to back up to late 2021. During the pandemic, a lot of founders who were stuck at home and looking for more community. And out of that sprung this WhatsApp group of YC founders who work in crypto. So YC, Y Combinator. I had gone through with a previous startup of mine. And we were just in this community together, all talking about this new technology, cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and what can be done with it. And so the group ended up growing so big that it hit the limit of the number of members you can have in a WhatsApp group, which at the time I think was like 256. So we said, all right, we want more people in the group. We should move this to Discord. And someone else was like, well, if we're moving it to Discord, we should create a DAO. And if someone says, well, if we're creating a DAO, we should go and collectively fund the next batch of YC crypto companies. And so all these ideas just came out and we just went ahead and did it. And this became Orange DAO. Orange DAO being the DAO of YC Alumni. And it very quickly grew into something that was much bigger than any of us had expected. We raised a $50 million venture fund, $30 million in partnerships directly into the DAO, grew to over 1,300 members, and creating different public goods and projects. We now fund fellows to come and quit their day jobs, come work in whatever they want, and start something new. So it's really grown to be much bigger than this little WhatsApp group of degens talking about what's happening in the crypto space. But when we went through that, we had this success story with Orange DAO. We had a huge number of other communities reaching out to us, asking us how we did that. And that was when we saw, all right, there needs to be a company that is helping other communities to start DAOs. And that's when we created Origami.
Wow, it's a fantastic origin story. I love it, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, none of us expected it to go that way, but it just did, right? We started Orange DAO just for fun for ourselves and ended up working out well.
Yeah. So were your co-founders part of that Y Combinator original WhatsApp group?
Yes. So there's four of us. So we got Ben Ha, Johnny Chin, and Stephen Caudill. And we were all at the genesis moment of Orange DAO, and all in different areas of it. So Ben helped actually write the charter. Johnny was helping with partnership deals, and Stephen was building a lot of the technical infrastructure for the DAO. So the four of us combined was a really good fit for Origami.
Amazing. And Matt, what personally motivates what you do? Like, what is most meaningful for you in work and in creating something like Origami and kind of your life mission?
Yeah, I'm a technologist. I love being on the bleeding edge. I love tinkering with things and seeing new technologies. And when I saw what was possible with Orange DAO, I mean, the community of YC alumni has been around for more than 10 years, but they really haven't done anything since then, right? until Orange DAO. And now Orange DAO has taken that same exact community and just put in place a different governance structure. And it's allowed the community to really blossom. And, I think about, if we can do that for other communities, how much can we advance human progress in the world? And I think it's significant. Obviously, there's a lot to build. There's a lot of missing infrastructure today. It's still very janky and difficult to use, but those are all solvable problems. If we can help, unlock the potential of communities, then we can really have a massive impact on the world.
Fantastic. And so this leads us to the question of what's the best way to explain a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO? Like, how would you describe it to someone who's a technologist but has never heard of this before?
Yeah, it's an online group of people. It's rather a governance structure for that online group of people. So, you take like a very basic example, your homeowners association, right? You've got a president, they have like all the control and all the other residents can't really do much. Now, you kind of need that because you need one person who can control everything to be able to make it work, because there aren't tools that allow for this decentralized group of people to work collaboratively. And that's what a DAO is. It's just the tooling for a decentralized group of people to be able to work together. And that's what it is. So I don't think we're going to call DAOs in the future. We're just going to call them groups or communities. The DAO is just the infrastructure for that. In the same way that many communities today will have a president, a treasurer, these different roles within it. We don't call that this a certain system. We just say this is the community. And I think DAOs will be very much like that in the future.
I heard on Masterclass they called a DAO a chat room with a balance sheet. So, what are the elements? What are the core infrastructure pieces of putting together these DAOs?
Sure. So, one piece of it is, like that balance sheet. It's the bank account for the DAO. And so there's a number of different systems that you can use for that. But the key thing here is that they're all on chain. They're all using blockchain technology to be able to collectively manage a bank account effectively. And then with that, with most DAOs, they have some form of token that could be non-fungible, where it's one token per person. It could be more of like a free-floating token where we could have any number of them per person. And there's different voting models that can be associated with those, but those are your ability to vote. And specifically within the Origami system, we actually use both. So every member gets one token, and they can also earn more of the we call it ERC20 governance token. So they can have as many of those as they'd like up until the total supply. So the membership token is their right to vote, and the governance token is their voting power within that community.
My next question is, I know you launched the Orange DAO, which is this DAO project you alluded to where Y Combinator raised $80 million to back crypto startups. So what's the relationship between DAOs, Web3, venture capital, and investment funds? And why are DAOs like a vehicle for, venture capital or investment funds?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are looking to invest collectively, and there's also a lot of challenges with that. So, with Orange DAO, we ran into this. It was very, very difficult to figure, how do we invest out of a DAO with over 1,000 people? And what we realized is actually it's not possible. Within the current constraints of the SEC, we can't invest out of a DAO. But what we did is we had this kind of creative solution where we created a partner fund. So a group of DAO members created a fund that partners with the DAO. So the DAO can surface operationally successful companies where the DAO can analyze the founder, the market, the idea. They just can't look at deal terms, and that's only for the fund to look at. And in that way, having these types of this separation there, we're able to have this kind of free form DAO and having a totally vanilla venture fund that meets all the standards of the SEC.
Right. And so does the token ownership among those two different entities, is it the same or different?
No, so they're two totally separate entities. The DAO and the fund have a relationship together, so that the DAO is, providing access to the founders, providing portfolio company support, and the companies that it surfaces that are operationally successful. And in exchange, the venture fund is setting up like a profit share. So when the venture fund receives its returns, the profits, some of that can flow back into the DAO.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And when you were talking about earlier, the member tokens and the governance tokens, and people, you either get tokens as a member or you earn tokens by completing certain rewards or accomplishments, that are helpful for the DAO. Is that similar to like how a startup kind of has an angel round and then a Series A? Like, how similar is it to the sort of tech finance world we're more accustomed to? Is it?
So a DAO, the way Orange DAO and others like it have formed are a little different in that they start with no capital. They have no dollars when they start. Unlike a lot of other tokens that start by selling their tokens, we just start by giving out these tokens to members. So we have some tokens. We have members. We have people who are interested in helping, and we have no money. And the goal is, how do we turn that into a DAO that can generate revenue? And so that's where we say, all right, well, if we have other people go out and create this fund and partner with the DAO, now we've got a source of revenue. And we can use that to then go out and find some partnerships. And how can we benefit the outside community? And we can use that for more immediate cash. And now, we've effectively kickstarted this DAO to now we have a real balance sheet that we can spend on, and we can find ways to create recurring revenue for its sustainability to the future.
There's been a lot of news about crypto, headline news, really interesting, changes in the market over the past 10 years as well as the past year. So what news story are you following, and which news stories are going to impact crypto the most in the next 12 months?
Look, there's news that causes it to go up, news that causes it to go down. But the news I follow is, what's actually happening in the crypto space. And, I'd say the most recent has been the Chappelle upgrade on Ethereum that allows for withdrawals from the network. I think this is the completion of this, I'd say the final initial stage of the progress of Ethereum. And it's been really exciting to see this journey as, everyone was waiting for the merge where these two different layers of the blockchain came together, and it was talked about for a very long time. They executed on that, but there was still this final piece that was waiting, of allowing the stakers to be able to withdraw. And now that's come around too. So, seeing that team execute in this decentralized way, it's been very exciting, and I'd love to see the progress there.
And for DAOs, what's your dream come true in 5, 10, even 50 years in the future? Like, where would you like to see DAOs be? How will they impact the world?
I would love to get to the point that we don't even say the word DAO. It's just a thing that exists in every community, or it's so ubiquitous within the community. It's kind of like when we use email today, the underlying protocol is like TCP/IP, but no one talks about that. No one knows what that is, and yet everyone uses it every day. I'd love for DAOs to get to that level. Now, whether that's happening in a few years or not, okay, probably not. But we'll at least be making progress towards that, and that's what I'm excited for. How can we unlock the potential of communities using this new technology?
Wow, fantastic answer. And so, you're at a Y Combinator alumni. And what advice would you give to an entrepreneur seeking to get into Y Combinator?
Focus on the customer. You should be building something for yourself. Start with the problem. Don't build something cool and then try and find someone to buy it. Really understand your customer and make sure you're building something that they really want. It's the famous thing YC said, build something people want. If you could focus on improving your application or understand your customer more, focus on that, and that'll help you get in more because you'll have a much better understanding of the business when time comes around to interview you.
Amazing. And Matt, where can our listeners go to learn more about Origami and DAOs?
Yeah, so we are actively seeking applications for communities that want to go through the Origami platform and program. So we also have a DAO funding program where we're helping DAOs to receive funding that use the Origami protocol. So the best way to find us is joinorigami.com. You can apply there for our DAO funding program as well as our core DAO accelerator program. That would be the best way to reach out.
Fantastic. And how can people get in touch with you and your team and connect with you online, Matt?
So definitely follow us on Twitter, Join the Origami, at Join the Origami on Twitter. You can find me at Matt Voska.
Fantastic. And is there anything else you think we should know about origami, crypto, or DAOs?
Now is probably one of the best times to be building a DAO. The space is quieter in this market. There's less people out there trying to scam, and it's all the builders. So if you want to be one of those people who are kind of pushing the boundaries of what's possible within your community and want to start that the DAO for your community to unlock that potential, come talk to us. We'd love to help you.
Fantastic. Well, it's a real pleasure to interview you today, Matt. Thank you so much for joining Venture Deal Talk.
Thanks, Damon. Really appreciate it.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, the technology group at Focus Investment Banking. With over 40 years of success, the Focus team is experienced in sell-side, buy-side, and capital raises for technology companies. And I'm on Team Focus, specializing in artificial intelligence, cloud, cyber, managed service providers, e-commerce, and consumer. Whether you're looking for market outlook, a business valuation, or ready to sell your business, Focus strategic advisors are on your team to optimize for your success. If you're ready to sell your company, buy a company, or raise capital, call Focus Investment Banking, the experienced mergers and acquisitions advisors. Website focusbankers.com. Shout out to our favorite graphic designers, our sponsor, United Cute Unicorns, building brand identities and investor-ready pitch decks for your next capital raise. Check out their stunning portfolio at ucu.design.